Hi, Linda. It's Michelle Olsen, Ivy and Lila Olsen's mom. Um, I I don't know what to say or what to do. So I wrote you a letter. I don't know if you'll have time to watch this video. I just hope that you do. Um, I have a lot in my head and a lot in my heart that I want to express. So here I go. Dear Linda Sheridan, I have written this letter in my head 100 times already because I honestly do not think words are big enough for what I feel right now. I mean, how do you think someone who walked into the wreckage of your life and treated you like you were still worth saving? How do you explain what it means when the entire world has spent years reducing you to accusations, rumors, court paperwork, hearsay, and assumptions, and then one person finally just looks at you and sees a human underneath it all? That person was you. And for 6 long years, I have lived inside of a nightmare that has never once stopped. Every morning I woke up missing my daughters, every birthday, every holiday, every ordinary Tuesday, where something reminded me of them, and split my chest open all over again and again and again. People will always say keep fighting, but they don't understand what it actually costs to fight this long. It consumes you. It changes your nervous system, it changes your soul, and you stop feeling like a person and start feeling like a case file everyone passes around while you are screaming from inside of it, trying to remind everyone that you are still alive. And then you came into my life, Linda, and you listened. Not just politely or professionally, not in a detached, this is just my job kind of way. You actually listened like my pain mattered. You listened like my daughters mattered. And I need you to understand, Linda, how rare that has been for me and how much I appreciate you. For years upon years, I have felt buried underneath allegations and narratives that became louder than my actual voice. I have sat in silence while people described me in ways that did not even resemble the mother I know myself to be. I have watched strangers speak about my life with certainty while never once understanding the depth of my love I have for my children or the agony I have lived in being separated from them. I have been grieving children who are still alive, and I can do nothing about it. But you, Linda, you saw through all of it. You saw my heartbreak, you saw my desperation, you saw the grief I carry every single second of every single day, and you saw Christine's actions and her wrongs. And instead of backing away from it, you stood beside me in it. Do you know what that did to me emotionally? It truly gave me hope when I truly did not have any left. Real hope. Not fake hope people say just to comfort you, not shallow optimism. I mean the kind of hope that actually scares you because you begin believing maybe somebody will finally tell the truth out loud, and you did it. You did just that. You stood in that courtroom and you fought for me and my children with intelligence, grace, strength, and compassion in a way I will never forget for the rest of my life. Watching you work was honestly one of the only moments in these last several years I felt protected instead of hunted. You are brilliant, Linda. Not just as an attorney, as a human being. There are attorneys who know the law, and then there are attorneys who understand human suffering deeply enough to carry people through the darkest moments of their lives without making them feel disposable. That is who you are. You fought with facts, preparation, composure, and strategy, but also you fought with heart. And people like me notice the difference because when your entire life is falling apart, you can tell immediately who actually cares and who is simply performing a job. You cared. I saw it every single time you spoke. I saw it every time you defended me, every time you challenged something unfair, every time you questioned me, every time you challenged me, every time you gave me reassurance when I was spiraling emotionally, every time you treated me with dignity after being years stripped of it. And I need you to know something that I hope stays with you forever. Linda, you did not defend a bad mother. You defended a mother whose heart has been shattered repeatedly, but who never stopped loving her children through any of it. You defended someone who was drowning in grief and still trying to fight because her daughters were worth every ounce of pain. Even now, after losing, after hearing things said about me that destroyed me internally, after walking away because I could not emotionally survive another word during that trial, I still would never look at you with disappointment. I actually look at you with admiration because I know how hard you fought. I know what you carried walking into this case. I know the uphill battle you were facing. I know there were years of narratives, assumptions, missing context, and damage already done before you even entered the room. And still, you fought anyways. That says everything about your character. And honestly, Linda, I think one of the hardest parts for me now is that years after feeling completely alone, you had made me feel safe enough to believe someone has finally been standing with me that mattered more than I could ever explain properly. You made me feel human again. You made me have faith in humanity again. And when somebody has spent years of being portrayed as something monstrous, misunderstood, unstable, or disposable, being seen clearly by even one person can save them emotionally. And you did that for me. And I don't know how to thank you enough for all of that. I also need to apologize for walking away the way I had. It was never about you. My heart just finally collapsed under the weight of all of this. I had hit a level of emotional pain I cannot fully describe. Hearing people reduce my love for my children into words like abandonment nearly killed me inside because if there is one thing I have never done is abandon them. Everything in my life has revolved around them, trying to hold on to them as tightly as I can. Everything. And losing, despite fighting this hard, broke something in me in real time, but even in this devastation, one truth remains completely untouched. I am completely and deeply grateful for you. Not only for your work, but your intelligence and your advocacy and who you are as a person. Because this profession could have hardened you, it could have made you emotionally numb, it could have made you give up. Instead, somehow you remain compassionate. That is rare, that is extraordinary, and that is why I will never forget you. No matter what happens from here, no matter how destroyed I feel right now, no matter how uncertain the future looks, I will always carry gratitude for the way you stood beside me when my world was collapsing. You gave me a voice when mine was being buried. You gave me hope when I was disappearing emotionally. And for one moment in this endless nightmare, you made me believe the truth still mattered. I will forever be grateful for that.
Hang on just a second. I'll come over there in just a second. Hi. Hello. toy? Show Eden too. Say, I got one too.